I'm going to gavel everybody. Welcome, everyone. Before we get started with committee tonight, Council Member Aaron Dickinson will present a commendation to Joni Fitch, Goodyear's Director in Community Affairs Engagement, on the occasion of the 100th anniversary of Goodyear Blimp. Oh, there.
So we have this commendation for you, and I'll read it out.
Okay.
Whereas the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company is one of the world's largest tire companies, it employs about 71,000 people and manufactures its products in 54 facilities in 21 countries around the world. Its two innovation centers in Akron, Ohio and Colmarberg, Luxembourg, strive to develop state-of-the-art products and services that set the technology and performance standard for the industry. And whereas the Goodyear blimp has been woven into the fabric of America for a century through countless cultural moments and historic events. Starting with the initial flight of the Pilgrim on June 3, 1925, Goodyear blimps have served as a public relations vehicle to drive brand awareness for the company and delight fans and communities across the country. And whereas, since the launch of the Pilgrim, Goodyear has built more than 300 blimps, the overwhelming majority of which were for the U.S. Navy and Army. In fact, after Pearl Harbor, even Goodyear's 5 public relations blimps and their crews were drafted into the Navy. As German U-boats wreaked havoc on American ships during World War II, airships began escorting naval fleets, able to both spot the enemy and prevent surprise attacks, as well as engage with depth charges that drove the submarines away to safe distances. In all, the airships flew more than 37,000 missions and safely guided almost 90,000 vessels along the Atlantic. And whereas on January 1st, 1955, the Goodyear blimp made history once more, providing the first live aerial video for a national TV broadcast at the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl game. The advent of live aerial coverage transformed the way Americans view sports, with the Goodyear blimp going on to fly at more than 2,000 events, including championships for nearly every major sport, as well as the Olympic Games. In 2019, the Goodyear blimp became the first non-player or coach to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. And whereas the Goodyear blimp has cemented its place in American pop culture as well. For some, it was the months-long stay at the 1964 World's Fair in New York. For others, it was on the silver screen with appearances in Help, A Star is Born, Black Sunday, or Scarface. For a younger generation, the blimp serves as the iconic lyrical image of Ice Cube's chart-topping song, It Was a Good Day. And whereas the control car for the Pilgrim is now part of the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, but the program it began continues in the world's skies. Today, the 4 Goodyear blimps, based in California, Florida, Ohio, and Germany, continue the legacy started by the Pilgrim, showing up at the biggest events, helping raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for charities, and delighting everyone who happens to see them fly overhead. Now, therefore, be it known by all and declared by the Council of the County of Summit, State of Ohio, that this council recognizes the Goodyear blimp on its centennial anniversary, celebrating 100 years as an enduring symbol of both nostalgia and innovation for Goodyear customers, employees, and fans worldwide. We urge all citizens to join in celebrating this milestone on this 23rd day of June in the year 2025.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you.
Mark's so funny.
Thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate Goodyear, and we all enjoy the blimp. And I know I'm not the only one who's very excited to see the 3 blimps at once a couple weeks ago, and I made my kids take a picture.
Good. Yeah, we loved all that.
Doesn't happen very often.
It was
but-
fun, yes. It was a lot that went into that, but we're grateful to be able to do it over our home. So thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for all of this.
Thank you.
Well, I think
Next is Courtney Brown, Director of the Winners and Leaders Youth Enrichment Organization. She will present to Council on the group's second annual Back to School Community Love Bash. Hello.
Greetings, Council. My name is Courtney Brown, like she said, and I'm the founder of Winners and Leaders, a nonprofit organization that I created to save lives in underprivileged communities through mental health education, life skills, sports, and wellness. I created this organization after I grew up with a lot of trauma, a lot of issues growing up in the inner city of Akron, Ohio. I've been to prison 3 times. Then all of a sudden, a switch hit, and I thank Judge Tammy O'Brien always and Judge Rollins for seeing what I didn't even see in myself. And I went through the reentry court program, and I was able to get the help and everything that I needed. And I just graduated in December with my master's in school counseling and finishing my principalship. So I'm able to start my own charter school. That's my goal, because may not be the traditional principal, but a lot of kids are not traditional. I don't want the kids that you got to tell stop 1 time. I want the kids that you got to tell to stop 5 times. And that's what that is what my vision is, and that's what my calling is. So I started this organization. I started this back to school bash last year and exceeded expectations. We gave over 500 free hamburgers and hot dogs. We had haircuts and hairstyles for young women, and we did nails. We had bouncy houses. We had DJ. We had just a whole bunch of community members come and support our kids, and this year I'm making to make even greater impact. So I reached out to Councilman Ford, who helped me support my mission and my vision to continue to allow to let it grow. And I wanted to present this opportunity in front of council today and see if anybody would be interested in supporting it, interested in advocating, because we need it in our community more than ever. And I call it the Back to School Community Love Bash, because we just need to show more love in our community. And there's kids out there that's not really getting the amount of love that they deserve. When I was doing my internships in schools, I seen kids not eat, don't have the school supplies that they need. Their parents not even supporting their education habits. They're going through stuff at home. If you got trauma going on at home, how can you come and have a productive school day? How can you focus in the class and you got to worry about what's going to happen? You're in kindergarten or 2nd or 3rd grade and you shaking because you don't know what's going home tonight, or you on an empty stomach, or you're not getting the love and care that you need. And I just want to continue to spread my vision and my impact in my community and continue to grow it. So I appreciate you guys, and I have some something to pass out for you to reach out to me, and if you like to support, we appreciate you.
Mr. Brown, please give those to Mark, and he'll pass them out to us. But thank you for everything you do.
Madam
Rob.
President. Madam President,
Oh, yes.
if I could just say, Mr. Brown has a really remarkable story. So if you have an opportunity to sit down with him, I would encourage you to do so. And the program that he has developed is making real, meaningful impact to kids in our community, and I think it really is to be applauded. So thank you, Mr. Brown, for the work you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Apostolette. Before we go into committee, I'm sorry, Christine, Apostolette would like to speak on one of the resolutions. I believe it's in Health and Human Services. Apostolette, 3 minutes, okay?
While she makes her way up there, council members, our JFS director just reminded me that we are sponsoring the event that you just heard about. So if you want more information,
Oh, okay. Yay.
we'll have a table sponsor.
That's great. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I specifically wanted to comment on Resolution 2025-188. I'm going to read it for the public so they'll know why I'm addressing this. A resolution declaring the month of August 2025 as Child Support Awareness Month in Summit County, recognizing the support is key, and encouraging residents of Summit County to join in this acknowledgement to wear green on August 6, 2025 for the prosecutor and the executive declaring an emergency, which it is. I don't conduct myself as if I've apprehended and attained and know everything about family values, and as Mr. Brown was just up in here, I guess he left, regarding traumas that are embarking families. But it is an emergency, and it is imperative that we address the prosperity and the wealth concerns for child support that are impacting families. Our families are being divided in this country. I am very much in support of this resolution, and I pray that the faith community will begin to lock arms. I know we have these rules such as church and state divided, but it's time to come together for the prosperity of families. I don't know who created this resolution, this idea, but I am very much supportive of it. And I'd like to know who prospers from this, what type of families prosper, because I see a lot of division in the church community of families, and I'm not seeing the money being allocated as it should be to provide for children in these families as it should be. I believe there needs to be a little closer look and a closer review as to how the families are truly supported through the funding of child support. I don't necessarily believe everybody should go to prison and go to jail. I believe we need to educate people and teach them the value of funding for child support. Once again, I support this resolution 100%. And like I said, I take like the Apostle Paul. It's not that I have attained or apprehended and I know everything. I only know my story. And when my story matches your story, then we have a good book that we're writing together. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Apostolate. Okay, it is 4:41, and I'll call the Personnel Committee to order. We have one item on the agenda, 2025-179, a resolution approving the Human Resource Commission, revised Social Service Group 27,000, 2751, 2756 series, and the addition of the 2730, 2731 series as outlined in Exhibit A for the Executive Department of Human Resources, declaring an emergency. Mr. Klepper.
Good afternoon, Chip Klepper, Interim Director of Executive Shapira's Department of Human Resources. I have the kick, I've done that before, but we are here. I want to just start high level just to explain it, and then I'll kind of drill down to what we're requesting. So what you have here is the actual, what we call a group. These would be all the social service positions, classified, non-bargaining social service positions that we have in our class and comp plan. With that being said, then these that are connected are kind of where you'll see their, one with, there's a series with no spacing. That means that those positions are connected, and a higher classification could, if needed, bump a lower classification in any certain kind of situations that we might come to. So we're asking to pull the social program coordinator and social program analyst positions off of this supervisor, manager, and administrative series that you see. Those are the ones that are red and moved to green higher up on the page. Those positions are actually have I guess the word would be have become our programming positions. So we had Heather Yanni on here a couple weeks ago who talked about Summer Youth Program and CCMEP. These are her employees that actually work on those programs, that work directly with the clients. The social program supervisor, manager, and administrator, those positions actually oversee the management of cases for Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, those kind of cash assistance. They don't necessarily, while they work with clients, they're not doing any programming. So we want to separate those out so that a supervisor cannot necessarily go into an analyst program or a position because the work is not remotely the same anymore. Also, if you'll see on the left side of the page, you'll see like 2.5 or 3.5. Those are the pay grades. So technically, in this world, in the current version that we have, it says that a social program supervisor can actually bump, if you will, a analyst who is a 3.5, which is a higher classification. That must have gone to council some time ago, probably before I started, to increase that analyst role. And this was never adjusted because usually, if you'll see, they go from, higher to lower. There's some other changes that we're going to need to make in this group and some others, but this is the one that I wanted to specifically address today because this is the one that actually has employees in it. Most of these at this time that you see here, except for victim advocate and inmate services with the prosecutor and sheriff, none of these positions are being used right now. So with that, I will take any questions.
Do you have questions?
I do. So on here, so like where it has like did you say the pay grade where it's like, say, this is what they are now and are they going up to that amount?
No, there's no other money. It's just we're just removing them from the series. We're not increasing the pay grade. Everything remains the same except we're pulling them into their own series.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering because I thought, man, that's a big jump.
No. They're already it's a 3.5 to a 2.5. The analyst is the ones that are really. I'm not even sure if we have any coordinators at this point, but we do have analysts, and those are the ones that are really doing the intensive programming. So it makes sense for them to be in the professional.
What's the number on it? 3? Would you say 3?
Yes, so 3.5. A grade 3 would be professionals or somebody who's has an expert. It's a very specific knowledge of job management, those kind of positions.
Any other questions from committee or from council as a whole? Okay, if not, may I have a motion? I have a motion from Councilman Donna Frio. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. No other items for the Personnel Committee. We will close at 4:46.
Good evening. I'll open up the Public Works Committee meeting at 4:47. Our first item is a 2025-180, a resolution granting design preparations for Springfield Township's Springfield Lake Outlet, County Ditch Number 45, petitioned drainage improvement project pursuant to Section 6131.12 of the Ohio Revised Code and declaring an emergency.
Okay, I'm basically here to, if you have any questions, I'm Dave Kuntz with the Summit County Engineer's Office. And this first resolution is a follow-up to the public hearing that was held here on June 2nd. And following that hearing, the council then needs to make the decision whether to authorize the design to proceed or to shelve the project. And of course, we're asking that the project be authorized to proceed. This is a formal step per the Ohio Revised Code 6131. In reality, the design has already been authorized. This is one of the several projects that were funded with the ARPA funding. And it is noted on there, the resolution 2024-010. So the important thing this does is makes it formal and then also does set a date for the final report to be submitted. That final report will include the final, thank you, final design, the plat, and the schedules of both payments for easements and the assessments. Now, in this case, everyone in the project area is within the Surface Water Management District, so there will not be any assessments for construction or maintenance. But again, that'll be provided at a later date, and that date is listed as, I believe, December 31st.
All right, any questions from committee or questions from council members? May I have a motion? A motion from Councilwoman Hyam. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 2025-181, a resolution authorizing the publication and legal notices for the proposed public improvement known as the Hinman Ditch, County Ditch Number 52, improvements project located in Coventry Township, and setting dates for the public viewing and public hearing pursuant to Section 6131.07 of the Ohio Revised Code for council and declaring an emergency.
Okay, you've gone through this one before for both Y Road Phase 2 and Springfield Lake Outlet and Copley Ditch. So we've got a couple more coming up. Hinman Ditch is in Coventry Township, and the Coventry Township trustees have submitted a petition requesting that this improvement be considered, studied, designed, and go forward. So in response to their petition, council is to set these public viewings and public hearing dates. The public viewing, we hold that out in the township, and then the public hearing is held here in council chambers. And at that point, we will also present a preliminary report to council, and we will hear, of course, from anyone in favor of or opposed to the project. And upon conclusion of that, we'll have legislation ready, similar to what you just passed for Springfield, so we can have the first reading of that at the time of that public hearing. So this sets the dates for the viewing and the hearing on this Hinman Ditch project. This is a project that takes in the area known as the Penguin Apartments, you may have heard of over the years. Formerly the ditch is called Hinman Ditch that passes by.
Any questions from committee? Any questions from council? May I have a motion? Motion from Councilman Schmidt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 2025182, a resolution authorizing the publication and legal notices for the proposed public improvement known as the Dorwick Ditch Improvements Project located in Northfield Center Township, and setting dates for the public viewing and public hearing pursuant to Section 6131.07 of the Ohio Revised Code for council and declaring an emergency.
Okay, this is just like Hinman Ditch. It was identified as one of the priority projects. It has been funding has been allocated through 2024-010, and the trustees of Coventry Township did sign a petition, or this is Northfield Center Township, did sign a petition requesting that this project proceed in this manner. This sets the dates then for the hearing, and prior to that, the public viewing, which will be in Northfield Center Township. And at the hearing, we'll present a preliminary report and hear people speak in favor of and opposed to the project. This one is totally within the Surface Water Management District, and there will, well, we're not to that point yet. There won't be assessments. This one you may have heard of before. It was brought to the county a few years ago as a petition ditch brought forth by a citizen. Rick Patz, I believe was his name. That didn't go through because there were going to be assessments, and the few people that were getting their flooding relieved were far outnumbered by the folks that would have to pay. So anyhow, that was actually one of the projects that led to the creation of the Surface Water Management District. So this time around, it's being done as a priority project. Any questions?
Any questions from committee?
Is that up by the VFW area, like right off of Route 8 there?
Yes.
Old 8? That's what I thought,
This
yeah.
is behind the VFW.
Right, behind the VFW, yes. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, because I know it's pretty bad. I've been all up in there, and it is very bad.
Have you? Okay.
Yes, it is. If you're in somebody's backyard, and it's just that you can't use your backyard. It's completely flooded.
Yeah, this would do a major project in the south to north direction through there, and some minor work in the east to west directions as well.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from committee or from council? May I have a motion?
I'll move.
Motion from Councilman Lacotte. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 2025183, a resolution to extend the final design report to August 1st, 2026 for Northfield Center Township's Norwood Lake, Beach Drive, and Cherry Lane ditch petition pursuant to Section 6131.12 of the Ohio Revised Code and declaring an emergency.
Okay, this one has been to council. The township trustees did sign a petition. They brought the project in last year, and in November, council authorized the final design to proceed and set a date of August 1st, 2025 for that final report to be submitted. However, on this project, the design is going to be done in a two-step process where we're going to have like a preliminary design but much further along than than the study that's been done so far. This will include survey, calculations, more analysis. The project's going to be, about half complete by the time they finish that. That consultant is just now being hired. I think you've had that come through your body, or is going to be brought forth soon to hire Palmer Engineering to do that. We have to have some agreement with Northfield Center Township on the cost of that engineering. So once that preliminary engineering is completed, probably by about January, then we'll authorize the final design. And with the way things take time, it's going to be about this time next year when they'll be completed with that. And then we'll have a little time to put together the final report and submit it to your body before August 1st of 2026. So that date of August 1st, 2025 that was initially proposed would have been awful difficult to meet even without taking the extra steps and taking time. So that's what this is doing now. And the extra time is desired because in that project, landowners will be assessed, and we want to know what the cost is going to be before that goes forward, and what the township might be able to pay, if they might be able to pay anything towards construction. They do get money back from the Surface Water District, so there'll be some funding available for them. And
I was kind of under the impression that they weren't going to get assessed, the homeowners over in the area where this is going to go.
at this time, I don't know that anybody's come up with any funding source that would cover all of that. This was a project initiated by the township. They have
Right.
huge problems with the drainage, and they want to be able to repair their road, but you can't do that without
Right.
repairing the drainage.
I know.
Yeah, that's something that come January, when we have a real good handle on the costs, hopefully there'll be some idea about extra funding besides the
So you've been in
homeowners.
the area that he's talking about, this road that this lake is on, so it's literally like this. The road used to be like this. I mean, it's bad. And the road it needs to get fixed. And that's the dilemma that the township has because of the funds. And so, but then you have the residents that are very upset over this because they don't actually own the lake. It used to be a homeowners association, and all that's gone now. So it's a big fight between them, and they kind of thought the county did this when really it was the township that did the ditch petition. We didn't do it. We just have to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah. I did talk to Rich Reveal last week or the week before. Trustees are aware that this preliminary design work is coming in quite a bit more expensive than was originally estimated. I wanted to make sure he was aware of that this project overall is probably going to be a lot more expensive than was originally anticipated. So the trustees have committed to putting the funding up to get this initial study done and out of their share. So they want to move forward with this. But to his point, yeah, the total cost of this package will ultimately determine, though I would tell you I still would like to see us find a way to get this done through the surface water combination of the funds we have and they have. So
What are they looking at, Brian? What do you think about how much is it going to cost?
the total project, oh, when they first brought this forward, I think Al was saying this could be $400,000. I think now we're looking at maybe even more than that.
Yeah, including construction is certainly more than
Yeah.
that. I don't have that figure here, but
Wow.
it's more.
I think it's still an unknown though at this point.
Right.
So they are committed. The trustees are committed to moving forward.
Well, that's
So,
good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'll keep it on schedule.
Any other questions from council or committee? May I have a motion? A motion from Councilwoman Hyam. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 2025-184, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a construction contract with Pavement Technology, Inc. for the 2025 Summit County Regional Asphalt Rejuvenating Program in an amount not to exceed $130,494.61 for the engineer and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Heidi Swindell, Summit County Engineers Office. This is one of our regional pavement maintenance contracts. It's for asphalt rejuvenation, which it's a treatment that we do on roads that we have recently resurfaced with new pavement. It can actually extend the life of the pavement 5 to 10 years. It keeps it more flexible. Let's see, total contract amount, $130,000. County share is $88,200. North Twinsburg Township joined the contract. They're about $40,000. And Northfield Center is just about $3,000. We sent out 4 bid packages, and only 1 bid was received, but it's like that every year. We just don't have a lot of companies around that do this type of treatment, and that is Pavement Technology out of Westlake. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from committee? Sure. Go ahead, Council.
Heidi, is this what they did to Everett Road?
When?
It was last year.
Oh, yeah, probably. That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's an interesting
Because we did part of Everett a couple years before that with the hot mix resurfacing. So, yeah, probably.
Interesting process. I drive through there, to get corn at Zalays.
Oh, absolutely.
And, it's really interesting the way they do that.
Yep, just spray it down, kind of let it set, and it kind of draws in the oil, keeps the pavement flexible, so it doesn't crack up as quickly.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from committee or council? May I have a motion? Motion from Councilman Schmidt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. 2025-185, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a lease purchase agreement with Brown Equipment Company under Sourcewell pricing for a 5-year term for an IBAC microgator cutter truck with a combination CCTV and lateral reinstatement cutter system, which will be financed through Republic First National Corporation at an interest rate of 5.45% for a total amount not to exceed $754,770 for the Executive's Department of Sanitary Sewer Services emergency.
Thank you, Chair. Mike Vinay, Executive's Department of Sanitary Sewer Services. This is the first type of equipment we've purchased like this. It's for televising and root cutting. Kevin Bang, who's been with the county for 32 years, he heads up our sewer televising division. I'm going to turn it over to him because his passion for this will be entertaining, to say the least. He does a great job. He's one of our best supervisors. So, Kevin.
Thank you, sir. Okay, this new cutter truck will go out on any job site and you'll try to TV a line. And if it's rooted up or calciumed up, we can't get through the line, obviously. So I'll send a Vactor out. Vactors really don't handle the calcium aspect of any sewer line. It hardens up like concrete. So you cannot get through the line. With this new truck, while we're TVing a line, we can go ahead and fix that issue. We can grind down that calcium. We can cut roots. No need to get another crew out there on the job site. It's all in one truck. And the truck that we're actually using at this time is a 2006, and that camera's down more than it's up. It's just seen better days. So we're really in need of trying to replace that. Most of the equipment that we use on Vactors just don't handle that kind of, you're not going to cut calcium. It's like trying to cut concrete. This thing, like I said, it's almost like grinding a tooth. It's super neat. You got a diamond blade in front of the camera, so as you're in the line, you can visually watch what you're doing, and you can move through. And if we can get a camera through, then we can slip line. So a root issue at that point, it's fixed. We also can pursue If it's old clay tile, then we can go ahead and run a slip line through there. But if you can't get a camera through, you're certainly not going to be able to slip line.
Just to add one more thing, we did a demonstration of this truck last year, actually on one of our sewer lines they came out. And I would encourage council to see this piece of equipment once we have it, because it's really amazing to see in action. You're in front of a TV and you're literally using an Xbox controller, and it's like playing a video game.
Yeah, it's a joystick.
Yeah. So I just appreciate Kevin and what his team does every day out in the field with these problems and these issues. And he's really one of the best representatives for all of us. The way he talks to our customers and really has their respect from his knowledge. So I thank him for coming in today.
Thanks, Mike.
Councilman Schmidt?
Could you guys bring the truck down here?
Yeah,
on Monday?
yeah.
A few years ago, EMA got a new truck. Remember, Tommy? And they brought it down here. We went out there and looked at it after council. Could we do that with this?
Yeah,
When you get
by
it?
all means.
Awesome. Thank you.
The truck in general itself is much more safety setup than what our older, it has the rear backup arrows, so we can divert traffic with that truck. So we always set up our cone and signage and things anyhow. But for the safety of our crews that are in these manholes, it's so much better. LED lighting, even on the camera. So everything is more updated fiber optic cable. So what we're televising, if a homeowner was to request it, it's just clear. It's so much better.
Any other questions from committee or from council? May I have a motion? Motion from Councilman Lacotte. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no other business before Public Works, I'll close committee meeting at 5:07.
Planning and Economic Development will open at 5:07. First item tonight is 2025-186, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of Change Order Number 1 to a professional service contract with 4 Points Architectural Services, Inc. for design services for the Summit Center Improvement Project located in the city of Akron in Council District 4 in an amount not to exceed $40,000 for a cumulative increase of 44.1%. For a total amount not to exceed $130,700 for the Executive's Department of Administrative Services Physical Plants. Hello.
Good afternoon, everybody. Joe Eckenrode, Physical Plants Department, Under County Executive Shapiro. $40,000, I'd like to, $25,000 of that's going to be for construction administration of this project. That was not in the original design contract, so that's the biggest portion of this $40,000. The other $15,000 was for value engineering. We did bid this project twice to get it within budget and make sure that we're getting everything done that we can with the best use of our assets. So I'd be happy to answer any questions, but we do have a good project now. We have a contractor on board, and everything's moving forward in the right direction.
Thanks, Joe. Any questions? Do I have a motion? A motion from Mr. Wilhite on 2025-186. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
2025-187, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute any documents necessary to apply for, accept, and enter into a water pollution control loan fund, WPCLF agreement with the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency for the repair and replacement of home sewage treatment systems for the Executive's Department of Community and Economic Development and declaring an emergency. Holly.
Holly Miller, Department of Community and Economic Development. This is our annual award from the Ohio EPA to replace failing septic systems here in Summit County. The homeowners must be income qualified and have a citation from the health department. Depending on their income, it's a sliding scale. We either can pay 100% of the replacement, 85%, or 50% of the replacement. Any money that the county puts in to replace the failing septic system is secured by a 5-year deferred forgivable loan that forgives itself in equal portions over the 5 years as long as the person remains in the home as their primary residence, does not sell or transfer the property, or they pass away. It would become what has not been forgiven would be due back at that time. This is not for renters, hence the 5-year forgivable loan. We don't want house flippers purchasing a home, getting the septic system replaced because it was found on a point of sale inspection, and then selling the home. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Holly, about how many people do you think you can service?
Between leveraging this with our CDBG funds, we can do about 25 systems a year. The issue right now is getting the health department to go out and actually issue the citations.
Got it. Thank you. Mr. Wilhite?
Holly, you said there's 100%, 85%.
And 50%.
What triggers each of those? Is it
It is, and it's based on poverty guidelines instead of area median income. So to get at 50%, that's 200 to 400% of poverty. So a family of four can make over $100,000, and we pay 50% of it.
Yeah. Any other questions? Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
I have a motion from Councilman Cajun on 2025-187. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Holly. Planning and Economic Development will close at 5:11.
I will open Health and Human Services Committee at 5:11. We have one item this evening, 2025-188, a resolution declaring the month of August 2025 as Child Support Awareness Month in Summit County, recognizing that support is key and encouraging the residents of Summit County to join in this acknowledgement and to wear green on August the 6th, 2025 for the prosecutor and the executive and declaring an emergency.
Thank you so much. I'm Jennifer Tulls, the Director of the Child Support Enforcement Agency. This is legislation we ask for annually. As you may already know, the child support program in Ohio touches more children than any other program, with the exception of the public education system. So 1 in 4 children in Ohio is touched by our program. Our county serves over 44,000 children at the Child Support Agency, and we have nearly 36,000 cases as of the end of May. We collect about 67 million, just over 67 million annually for Summit County families. And our performance right now is ranks the top in all of the metro counties in Ohio at 74%. So we are also the top performing county overall of all the metros, and we won 5 awards from our state office at the end of last year. For the month of August, we have several events planned. CSEA will be holding an event for clients on Wednesday, August 6th from 11 to 6:30. This time slot, we hope, will allow everyone the opportunity to attend, to get service no matter what shift they work or their availability. Clients can meet directly with a case manager to discuss their case. They can make payment arrangements. They can get help in accessing our state customer service web portal. They can apply for a review of their child support order if eligible. They can discuss and waiver and compromise of state owed arrears. And we will have someone on site to conduct our always free genetic testing if paternity has never been established, amongst a whole bunch of other things we're going to provide at that. And we will also have some activities for kids out in the front area of Lock 3 outside. And we will be at the Metro bus station in their resource room twice during the month to assist clients. Watch for our posts on social media for the month with lots of great information for the community. And I will also be reaching out to Mr. Brown about partnering up for his August 17th bash. And I'd also like to invite you all. We're going to wrap up the month with a staff picnic at Wingfoot Lake State Park on Friday, August 22nd. And then it will be at 12 p.m. at the Dogwood Shelter in the park. And then remind all of you to wear green on Wednesday, August 6th. Snap a photo, post it to social media, and hashtag it with Wear Green Ohio. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Great, thank you. Any questions from member of council? Council as a whole? Okay. With that, may I have a motion, please?
So moved.
We have a motion from Mr. Ford on 2025-188. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
I will close Health and Human Services at 5:15. And we will open up finance at 5:14. One item, 2025-189, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute a grant agreement with Arts Now to support the Polsky Building Arts and Cultural Project, which aims to expand the arts and culture facilities
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Executive Office is going to ask the committee to take time at this time, if we could. Thanks.
Mark, I still need a motion on time. So moved. Mr. Wilhite moves on 2025-189. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll close finance on 5:15.
Good evening, it's 5:15, and I will call the Long-Term Planning Committee to order. There's just one item of business. I'd just like to open up for discussion the possible development of a strategic plan for the safety and security of county facilities. And if you would reference the document titled Proposed Planning Process, Security of County Facilities. Again, this is an idea at this point. I'm looking for feedback from both the committee, council as a whole, and the executive. This document that I prepared is just a model. If we go forward with this, the ultimate product might not look much like this, but I kind of wanted to provide some idea of the thought process here. So in terms of some type of security strategic planning process, the idea would be to provide a strategy that identifies immediate, short-term, and long-range goals related to security administration in county facilities, however that's defined. The process will position one-off decisions in a broader framework, meaning we currently kind of discuss things as they arise, and there could be a way of coordinating these decisions. Offer an opportunity for stakeholder feedback on security issues, and that's both from internal stakeholders, employees, and external stakeholders. Afford a mechanism to apply internal and external expertise to specific problems. Provide a mechanism to develop and evaluate security objectives in a coordinated manner. And again, the idea here is that there would be a management team that would be put together, as that says under process constitutes some type of management team. From the executive office with relevant expertise, obviously, and perhaps 2 members of council, in some type of security committee, and put a process together to examine these issues, to develop priorities. So I kind of laid out a process here just as an example. You can do it quarterly. For year 1, you establish this security committee. You have initial meetings to determine the scope. In the status of security, you establish a baseline, meaning where are we now? Look at areas for improvement, where we want to be. And there are a variety of different ways of doing that, looking at trends and issues that the county might be dealing with. You might do a SWOT analysis, focus on strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, or threats. And it's this initial meeting, this initial work by the committee that really sets the basis for objectives that would be laid out subsequently. And again, the initial meetings will consider input from stakeholders, and input is not the same as direction. Final decisions would be, again, made by the committee, the management team. You may wish to construct a ranked list of priorities after you're informed by internal and external stakeholders and guided by management team expertise. And then the important point would be to convert priorities into measurable objectives, which is really key to any strategic plan. Include a time frame, a supervisor over that particular objective, the tasks that need to be accomplished, and the cost. And again, this is a process to provide resources and expertise to solve problems and to fund these initiatives. The supervisor of that team would establish a task team composed of relevant personnel to achieve outcomes. And the management team would then report these objectives to this committee, the Long-Term Planning Committee, at the end of that quarter. Now, I also provide an alternative. If you want to, I have a tendency to further complicate things, to very much complicate things, so I'm going to complicate them maybe further. A management team might do this by functional areas if they don't choose to list priorities. And you can come up with different functional areas like physical security or security policies, emergency preparedness, threat assessment, training, technology, whatever they come up with that they think they need to focus on. And you can develop objectives within those functional areas if you wished to do that. Task teams, again, with relevant expertise would be assigned to each functional area, not the objective. Again, more complicated version of the plan, but this results in continuous improvement on multiple fronts if it's implemented correctly, meaning if you have 4 of these functional areas and you establish 1 or 2 objectives, one in each, you make progress on each of those, you've made significant progress in 1 year's time. In the second quarter, the security team would meet and they would listen to reports from the task team supervisors to look at the progress on objectives, review feedback on security issues provided by both internal and external stakeholders. So not only are they looking at their progress on the objectives that they stated in the first quarter, but they are gathering information from employees, from people who come to the building to do business, et cetera, all stakeholders. And therefore, it's a communication mechanism for security issues. There might be featured speakers or experts, subject matter experts that come in to add to our knowledge base as well, and that's kind of what is fleshed out on A, B, and C there, having those subject matter experts. And again, quarter 2, a report to the long-term planning committee. Quarter 3 is the same as above, essentially. You continue progress. It's a check-in every 3 months, essentially, and a report to the long-term planning committee. Quarter 4, same as above. Another check-in to see if there's progress. The check-ins are going to be data-driven, of course, and that's why you have measurable objectives for each of these areas of focus. And then you're back at the beginning, back to quarter 1 of year 2, where you evaluate the progress from the previous year. Did you make any progress on your objectives, lessons learned? And then you have the conversation. Do we need new objectives? Are we going to continue with objectives from the previous year? Or do we need to change the task format? An annual report can be made at that particular time. The report can be made to long-term planning or to council as a whole. And the last, looking at bullet 7 there, generally these planning cycles last years, 3, 4, 5 years. That's why this is in long-term planning. You just rinse and repeat with the cycle and try to make continuous progress on these security fronts and achieve your objectives throughout this cycle. The process must be agreed to, obviously, by the Executive's Office. The Executive's Office will have full discretion appointing the management team, task teams, establishing objectives. I wanted to be clear that this is a process for coordinating, in my mind, problem-solving efforts with resources, and it's not an accountability process to discipline people or call them on the carpet, so to speak, in the LFM for not achieving objectives. It's to facilitate the achieving of objectives and to get individuals on the same page, provide resources and expertise on agreed-upon priorities and objectives. And then finally, I've violated entirely this last line, which is the KISS principle is welcome and should be liberally applied. That's keep it simple, silly, or keep it simple, stupid, as some people say, which I do not do, but I have faith that if you would want to go forward with this, the people that would carry the ball forward would keep it simple as well. So I guess what I'm looking for today is, and I realize you're seeing this for the first time, this lengthy document for the first time today. If there's any feedback from the committee, any feedback from council, from the executive, or if you wish to take some time and when we come back, we can talk about this subsequently. I would just need to know if, I've had preliminary conversations with members of the executive and it seems to be positive. I guess what I would need to know is if we want to go forward and kind of formalize this and have additional conversations as well. Go for it. Yes, Jeff.
Yeah, David, first of all, thank you for doing this. And this certainly falls in the line of your professional expertise and things that you're trying to do with the city of Akron and that whole process and being able to look at our security system and process here in the county. I think this makes a lot of sense. It seems to be a good approach. Perhaps what we recommend is we're going to be off for the month of July. Folks study a little bit, kind of let it bake a little bit, and then when we come back in August, move it forward in a direction that'll be beneficial to the whole county. But personally, thank you, David, for doing this. This is a lot of work, and you certainly do have the professional background to present this to us. So thank you for that.
Appreciate that. Liz.
I would just, I would echo my thanks on this. I think this is great, but also would just hope that we can prioritize spaces where the public can come and go, just because of the escalating political violence we're seeing across the country. I want to make sure everyone that comes into our facilities is safe and protected. So if we could prioritize like the Ohio building and the Pry building and places like that, I think that would be really important.
Thank you.
Once agreed that we do want to move forward, what will we need to do? Would this need to come in the form of a resolution?
I think we would want to have additional council members involved in it, if they are on the committee or even public safety committee, or I'm not sure how we would resolve that, but we can have that discussion subsequently who wants to be involved with that. And then I believe we would construct a resolution, but we would want, I would imagine it would be a rather broad resolution that would, again, honor the spirit of allowing the executive management team to put together what this is going to be.
Mr. Lecoq, even if you're not on the committee, if we have
I
suggestions,
would,
like if you form a committee, then we can offer suggestions to that committee.
Sure. The question was if a committee is formed, the Security Management Committee or whatever it's going to be called, can council offer suggestions? I would think certainly.
And I was just talking to Jeff, but I mean, would this be similar to what we did with the environmental ad hoc, where you bring all the relevant people or the subject matter experts to the table to have some conversation and have some actionables that potentially come out of that? But my biggest thing is, again, making sure that the people who need to be at the table are at that table, because we can all talk about what we think it should be, but I really would depend upon the experts like David and people from the sheriff's office and who and maybe some outside experts as well, who would be looking at the global perspective of how we secure these buildings. And then we always have to talk about the money, but I think you have to have the right people there to talk about what's realistic and what's doable, then talk about how much it could cost.
I was going to say something, John, but I won't. Says the guy who just had a conversation with me about yeah, I think ultimately what you would do, we would formulate a kind of a strategic plan that's what the resolution would essentially adopt, that plan in the end. And I want to say to Ms. Hyam, I'm only in this as long as I get to team up with David Lacotte to give the final report out. We're going to have an afternoon session starting at 1 o'clock. Yes. If that's the case, I'm all in.
Any other?
Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for all the work you put into this. I'm in my 18th year on council, and this is the very first time that this committee, the Long-Term Planning Committee, has ever met. So,
and he mentioned that, and I was sitting here thinking, now I know why.
Well, I'm relying on my almost 6 months of experience on county council, so I am open to feedback. So, thank you. Any other comments? Thank you. Appreciate it. 5:28. We'll close the Long-Term Planning Committee.